Okay, quick question. When was the last time you saw an actual billionaire in real life? Not on a podcast, not on CNBC, not on Instagram doing a fake slow morning in a kitchen the size of an airport terminal. I mean in real life. At CVS, at Starbucks, at a red light, buying antacids and pretending life has not been disrespectful lately. Exactly. You probably haven't. And that is not an accident. Because the richest people on Earth figured out something the internet still hasn't. The best way to stay rich is to stop looking rich. If you're trying to build real wealth without all the noise, pressure, and performance, subscribe. You are very much my kind of person. Anyway, you probably haven't. And that is not an accident. Because the richest people on Earth figured out something the internet still hasn't. The best way to stay rich is to stop looking rich. Not because they became enlightened. Let's not give them a personality transplant they did not ask for. Because attention got expensive. Meanwhile, the internet handed us an entire traveling circus of people performing wealth. The leased car, the borrowed mansion, the "I made 6 figures this month" guy, whose real asset is a ring light and unchecked confidence. And listen, some of those people are successful. Some of them are also living a lifestyle that could be interrupted by insufficient funds and one bad Tuesday. That's the scam. We have all been trained to look at the loudest person in the room and assume they're the richest. But looking rich and being rich are now 2 totally different hobbies. One is wealth. The other is set design. And girl, I say that lovingly as someone who has absolutely arranged a cheese board for 2 people like Architectural Digest was on the way. Here's the problem. Visible wealth is easy to understand. You can see the watch. You can see the car. You can see the vacation. You cannot see owns a boring thing that cash flows every quarter. Nobody's making a reel called "Come with me while my municipal bond ladder quietly supports my future." It's not sexy. It's just effective. And that's why people keep chasing the costume. Because for years, wealth was marketed like a Broadway show. Big house, big logo, big watch, big "I'm crushing it" energy from a man who says "brother" too much. But then something shifted. The people with real money looked around and went, "Wow, this is tacky." Now the truly wealthy often dress like they own a Vineyard, but still answer emails from an iPhone 11. Plain sweater, simple shoes, neutral colors, no logo screaming for social validation. They don't look broke. They look like they've emotionally detached from impressing strangers, which, frankly, is one of the hottest things a person can do. And here's why they changed. Because once people know you have money, your life gets weird. Everybody has an opportunity. Everybody has an emergency. Everybody has a nephew with a business idea that sounds like tax fraud in a hoodie. Your privacy disappears. Your peace disappears. Your DMs become a haunted house. So no, the rich did not get humble. They got strategic. They realized visible money attracts nonsense. And if I'm being honest, I understand that deeply. I am not even rich, and I still hide Amazon boxes when people come over like I'm laundering throw pillows. That is called shame, but also budgeting. And the first thing they stopped doing was dressing for witnesses. Because flashing money used to signal status. Now, it often signals insecurity with an APR. The louder the flex, the more I start wondering what the monthly payment is. That's just where I'm at spiritually. We've all seen it. The hotel robe content, the airport champagne at 7 a.m., the slow motion car door opening like we're all supposed to faint. Sir, that is a vehicle, not a personality. And again, I say this with compassion as someone who once convinced herself that buying a $140 linen throw pillow was elevating the space. Ma'am, it was stuffing with a backstory. But wait, it gets weirder. The wealthy didn't just stop dressing rich. They stopped living where you expect rich people to live. Most people still picture wealth in obvious places. Penthouse, gated mansion, valet parking, a refrigerator so large it has emotional distance. And yes, some people live like that, but a lot of serious wealth moved somewhere quieter. Smaller towns, private land, low-profile neighborhoods, places where the coffee shop looks normal, but half the people inside could buy your block and turn it into boutique Pilates. Because privacy is the actual luxury now. Not the bag, not the Bentley, not the weird sculpture that looks like sadness in chrome. Privacy, that's the flex. And honestly, same. To me, truly wealthy is not a louder life. It's a calmer life, where I can buy avocados in peace, where I can walk through home goods anonymously, where I can stand in the candle aisle without anyone assuming I'm financially reckless, even though, to be fair, that assumption would have some historical basis. Now here's the bigger mental shift. The truly wealthy do not mainly think in cash. They think in ownership. And this is where regular people get tricked. Most people imagine wealth as a giant checking account. Like, one day you open your banking app and the number is so high it gives you attitude. That's not really how it works. Real wealth often lives in assets, equity, businesses, land, funds, intellectual property, things that pay you quietly while you're at home trying to remember why you walked into the kitchen, which is why real wealth is so visually disappointing. A fake rich person buys something you can post. A truly wealthy person buys something so boring it sounds made up by an accountant with low vitamin D. One gets likes, the other gets freedom. One gets OMG goals. The other gets the option to never sit in a meeting called QuickSync again. That's the difference. And yes, freedom is less photogenic. No one goes viral saying, "Hey guys, come watch me feel structurally secure." But maybe they should. I'd watch that before another fake jet video. And once you hit a certain level of money, you're not even using the same system anymore. Regular people earn, get taxed, pay bills, and hope their car doesn't develop an opinion about starting. Wealthy people start structuring. Entities, trusts, holdings, legal layers, protection. Not because they're all evil masterminds petting a cat in a dark office, mostly because when money gets serious, chaos gets expensive. So while all of that is happening quietly in the background, what does the internet show you? The decoys. That's my favorite part. The fake rich are the glitter cannon. They are standing center stage, absorbing all the envy, all the attention, all the fascination. While the actual wealthy walk out the side door in a fleece vest and practical shoes. Everybody is staring at the Lamborghini or the Hermes handbag. Nobody is asking who owns the warehouse. And spoiler, it's usually not the guy filming motivational content in the Lamborghini. That man owns a course, a drone, and a personality disorder built entirely out of captions. Let us all remain calm. Because if someone is constantly filming the watch, the room, the bottle service, the mastermind, the private driver, the business class seat, when exactly are they building anything? Some are. A lot are branding. Those are not the same thing. And if you have ever looked at somebody online and thought, "Wow, I am behind," I need you to hear me. You may not be behind. You may just be comparing your actual life to someone else's costume department. I have done this too. I have absolutely seen a woman in a beige kitchen with under-cabinet lighting and thought, well, she has inner peace. No, she has editing. Now, here's why this got so much worse recently. Because the world got a lot less patient with rich people being rich in public. People are tired. Everything costs more. Groceries feel hostile. Insurance feels personal. And a public display of wealth does not always read aspirational anymore. Sometimes it reads, "Oh, so you're out of touch and filming it vertically." That changes behavior. The truly wealthy saw that early. They realized attention is no longer just flattering, it's expensive. Expensive socially, expensive professionally, expensive emotionally, expensive in plain old peace and quiet. So they pulled back. Less showing off, less visibility, less chance of becoming the internet's villain because they posted a yacht next to a recession. Honestly, smart. And that is the part people keep missing. The wealthy did not disappear because status stopped mattering. They disappeared because invisibility became the higher form of status. Anybody can buy something flashy. Not everybody can afford to be left alone. That is luxury now. Not being recognized, not being pitched, not being perceived by Chad from high school who suddenly wants to hop on a call. So when you zoom out, the picture is actually really clear. The truly wealthy don't dress the way people expect. They don't live the way people expect. Their money doesn't sit where people expect. And they let fake rich people take all the heat for them. Which means a lot of people are studying the wrong blueprint. They are learning wealth from performers. That's like learning to cook from someone whose kitchen is 80% backsplash and trauma. The real work is usually quieter than that. It's systems, it's consistency, it's ownership, it's privacy. It's boring habits repeated so many times, they become freedom. And I know boring is not the fun sales pitch. I know. I too would love for financial freedom to come from one emotionally significant skincare purchase and a positive attitude. But tragically, math remains involved. And honestly, I find that comforting. Because it means you do not need to become louder to become wealthier. You do not need to cosplay success. You do not need to finance your identity. You do not need to post every tiny win like your retirement account is your labradoodle. Maybe the goal is not to look expensive. Maybe the goal is to build a life that feels calm, solid, private, and paid for. That feels much healthier to me. That also feels more adult. Because looking rich seems exhausting. You have to maintain the car, maintain the image, maintain the posting schedule, maintain the lie. No thank you. I can barely maintain a sourdough starter and a positive relationship with my inbox. What I want is peace, and that, conveniently, is also what real wealth buys. So no, the truly wealthy did not vanish. We just got distracted by the logos, by the noise, by the aspirational nonsense, by the fake rich Olympics happening on every app. Meanwhile, real wealth stayed boring. Ownership, cash flow, privacy, options, time, peace. That is the actual flex. And yes, it is wildly less fun to photograph. But maybe that's why it works. Because the best financial moves usually don't feel glamorous in the moment. They feel repetitive, understated, mature, a little annoying, honestly. Like drinking water, walking daily, or not checking your retirement account every 6 minutes like it owes you a text back. But that is how people quietly build lives that don't need applause. And that is a much better goal than looking rich on purpose. Now, if you want the next video, it should be the part that actually changes your life. How real wealth gets built in the first place. Not the fake rich version. Not the social media version. The actual boring, repeatable behaviors that compound into freedom over time. If you want that one, comment, "I want real wealth." And if you want money advice that helps you feel calmer, smarter, and more in control of your life, subscribe to the channel. That's really the goal here. We're building something solid, not flashy. And if that sounds good to you, I'd love to have you here. And I'll see you in the next one.